I borrow the term paradigm from Thomas Kuhn, who described how science evolves. It influences how you formulate a problem, how you view a problem, and the methods that you apply to solve that problem. I thought that was a useful framing for artificial intelligence, which in my lifetime I've seen go through 3 paradigm shifts. So the major paradigm shift, the first one was from specification to learning, so that instead of requiring humans to specify knowledge, you learned it automatically from data. And that's what the machine learning paradigm is really all about. But you still needed to do a fair amount of curation of the data. The paradigm shift that followed that was from machine learning to deep learning, where the machine was able to perceive the environment directly without requiring this layer of curation from humans. So that the machine now learned to see, to hear, to read. And the latest shift we've seen is what I call towards general intelligence, because in all of these previous paradigms, you were really designing machines to solve a particular problem, whether it was medical diagnosis or engineering design or whatever. That sort of distinction broke down. We can now think about this general intelligence analogous to electricity. Previously, if you were running a factory, you had to have your own generators, and then you organized the factory around it. Artificial intelligence was the same way. Every time you wanted to do something, you designed everything from scratch. You built the whole system for an application. Whereas now, think of intelligence being piped in, to a factory, and you can produce anything you want with it, just like you do with power. And so this, what I call general intelligence said, there is no distinction, there are no clear boundaries of knowledge, it's all seamless. We can get a machine to learn how to sound good, that is, converse with us. So instead of us talking to the machine in its language, it now talks to us in our language. To be sure, there are people who would argue that it just seems like the machine is intelligent. As people know, it hallucinates. But my response to that, AI, the way it is in the current paradigm, is not designed to be truthful. Logic dominated AI for several decades before it began to get more sort of probabilistic and statistical. And that is one of the major challenges that faces us going forward, because people expect the machine to be truthful. Unfortunately, is that one of the things we get in exchange for this tremendous power to be able to learn anything is we get this tremendous complexity that's very hard to unpeel. The fundamental question is, do we have laws that are adequate for AI? Because this is a new alien intelligence, an alien thing that's arrived on the planet. Our laws aren't designed for aliens. And so there's a real concern in enacting regulation. Even though these regulations are well-intentioned, my fear is that they're a little bit too early, that they're not well-defined, and they aren't adequately thought out at the moment. To me, that's the holy grail of AI. Not only reach human-level intelligence, but even surpass it. At the moment, there's this notion of the scaling laws of AI, which basically says, as you throw more data, more computational horsepower, more complexity at the machine, it gets better at prediction. Maybe a machine will now learn what it means to reflect. That's an open question, right? As to whether that will require a new paradigm shift or whether that can be accommodated within the general intelligence paradigm.